Okay. Do. You don't? Oh. Ah. What, the one that just goes, "Meow," that one? That one? Yeah. What's that, sorry? I got it. No, I'll get it in a minute. Have a look then. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. How's that one? Yeah. They can hear us, by the way.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com. Simulated racing can be awesome, but can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Apex Racing TV. It's the Club 73 Touring Car Championship in association with World League Sim Racing. It's a new season here on Apex Racing TV. We've got the VW Jetta and we've got the Kia Optima going to battle once more. Season 1 was fantastic, and I'm sure the guys have got something great in store for us in Season 2. Good evening, everybody. I am Andrew Woodhouse, and I'm joined by James Nash for this here from this Silverstone circuit in the United Kingdom. We've got the historic Grand Prix layout here. For this one, we were here at the old Grand Prix circuit for the it's a Sports Car Championship earlier on tonight. That provided some fantastic racing. I'm sure we'll get some more here today. Right. Okay, let me just run you through the championship then. The premise of it, we've got a sprint race and a feature race tonight. So the first one will be 15 minutes, and the second one is going to be 30 minutes with a mandatory pit stop. So the first race will be made from the grid will be made from the qualifying session, and the second one will be a reverse grid. That's championship orders reversed, so that with the Jettas starting behind the Kias. So the Kia's obviously the quicker car, so they will be starting in front. Okay. Have a quick look at this then. So there's two classes for the Kia, as there was in Season 1. We've got the Super Pro category and we've got the Pro category. And the Jetta is all in the same class, and they're fighting for the Mike Cooling Cup. Reigning champions of the series, Ben Hackison, took the Super Pro category. Mark Woodhouse took the Pro, and Michael Hall took home the Mike Cooling Cup. So I'm sure we're going to see some fantastic driving out in this series today. Michael Hall, meanwhile, he's actually going to be contending for the Super Pro title in the Kia this year. So moving across from the Jetta to the Kia, I'm sure it'll be very interesting for us and for him, as he now has to cope with being the faster driver out there, the faster car, and getting through the traffic. Got a few new entries in the Jettas as well. Probably the most notable of them is, unsurprisingly for one of our broadcasters, an Apex Racing UK team, the Cheese and Wine team. That is Clive Lawrence, Tim Mawson, Conrad Venter, and Ryan Walker. They're going to battle in that one. There's new drivers, the likes of Rafael Medeiros and Dan Gunfield, Dylan Ditchburn. Then you've got all the previous veterans of either the BSRTC or the Club Series or of the even the Kia World Series are pretty much all put into the Kia class. So generally, I think it is all the rookies generally have to start in the Jetta. Quite a good format because it allows you to sort of graduate, if you will. Then and yeah, they're going to be fighting it out hard for the main championship. I'm very much looking forward to seeing exactly what it has in store for us. We saw some brilliant stuff last season. It was a very, very entertaining series. Currently in qualifying, then Michael Hall is taking provisional pole position, just coming round, I believe, to finish another flying lap. Let's see if he can improve. Reigning champion of the VW Jetta, he comes across the line, does not improve there. I think he's got time for one more. Goes the car into Copse Corner. Ben Hackison is second at the moment, with Lewis Bibby third, Alex Everett in fourth, and Chris Wood in fifth. Going into the Mike Cooling Cup then, it's Clive Lawrence on pole position for the VW Jettas with a 159.398. Tim Mawson, his teammate alongside him, Alexis Molina, in 21st. We didn't see a lot of Molina in the first series because he kept having major internet issues. He could only make it into one race, and that was actually I believe that was actually the final race of the season. Sorry, it was the King of the Ring, wasn't it? Conrad Venter in fourth, Dennis Melcher in fifth. So Dennis Melcher came within a whisker of taking home the Mike Cooling Cup last year. One mistake. It was a pretty major one, actually. Selecting the wrong car for one of the races, for a race 2, I believe, and of course that meant that he was unable to take part in the session. So, and of course unable to claim any championship points for that round. So without that incident, Melcher, it could have been his title, but Michael Hall fought very hard. Michael Hall definitely deserved the championship. It's one of those series that if you've never seen the Club 73 Touring Car Championship before, well, first few laps might seem quite normal to you, but then we're definitely going to get some chaos later on as the lap cars start coming into play. We've seen 3, 4, 5 wide in places. We've seen a lot of incidents. You have to be very, very careful in both classes. With the Kia, you have to realise that you've got a massive closing speed. Got much more acceleration, much more top speed than the Jetta. If you're in the Jetta, you also have to, generally I would say stick to your line, is mainly the rule for the mixed class racing, but you've got to keep your wits about you, you've got to fight the other cars, you've got to watch out for the Kias coming through as well, which now the Kia has had some changes, because there were some changes in this most recent build that we've had. We may only see the traffic coming into play at the very, very end of the race, which could make it very, very tricky for some of these drivers out there. Right. Qualifying is just about finished. No drivers are out on the track still, so everyone's happy with their qualifying efforts. So I'm going to take you through the first grid of the season in the Club 73 Touring Car Championship in association with World League Sim Racing. Michael Hall, the reigning Mike Cullen Cup champion, takes pole position ahead of the reigning Super Pro champion Ben Hackerson. What a front row that is. Lewis Bibby and Alex Everett take row 2, with Chris Wood and Diogo Melro in 5th and 6th positions. Pete Harrod, a two-time Club Series champion, is in 7th alongside Scott Malcolm in 8th. Sam Reed is 9th and Mark Woodhouse, the reigning Pro champion, in 10th. Dale Green is 11th with Andrew Whitehead 12th. Jay Wright is 13th. Then it's John Roberts in 14th, the reigning King of the Ring. Jason Rowe is 15th. Then it's Neil Rocks in 16th. 17th is Stuart Atkinson. 18th is Chris Sherburn. That rounds out the Kia field, or at least nearly all of it. Clive Lawrence takes pole in the Jetta with a 1:59.398. Tim Mawson in 2nd. Alexis Molina 3rd. Conrad Venter 4th. And Dennis Melcher in 5th. Rafael Medeiros is in 6th with James Leggett 7th. And 8th is Sean Gardiner. Adam Hedgecock is 9th, and then it's 10th for Steve Hooper. Steve Whiteley is in 11th, with Ryan Walker in 12th. Dan Gunfield 13th. Dylan Ditchburn 14th. Ian Robson 15th. 16th, Robert Lundgren. We saw him in the European V8 Supercar Championship last night. White is next, and then it's Eddie King, Ian King, and at the back it's Clinton Bell and David Rosier. Right then. Going to have a start off the grid here. No rolling start or anything like that. Going to be very, very interesting. I always love the first round of a new season. We say this so often here on Apex Racing TV. Anticipation is really with us here. Season 1 was an absolute thriller, and I hope we get some more of the same here this evening. Pretty much all the cars now lined up on the grid, ready for the start. Here we go, the revs are rising for the first time this season in the Club 73 Touring Car Championship. We have the green flag as it flies now. Decent start by Michael Hall. He's managed to... Oh, it's a very good start by Hall. He's managed to... Oh, there's a crash. There's already a crash. And they're going to come back on the track. Look out, everybody. I think nearly everybody is through that in the Jettas. There's just a little bit of contact as a car falls out of the sky onto the back of the field. Now it's a boosted motorsports car. It's John Roberts. It says vaulted on there. He got vaulted up into the sky. Jay Wright is involved as well for Automech. Everyone else seems to get through it okay. Hackerson is slotted into 2nd behind Michael Hall. 3rd is Lewis Bibby, and then it's 4th for Alex Everett, 5th for Chris Wood. Let's see what happened with the Jettas then. Did they manage to all get through? You know what? I think they did. And it's Clive Lawrence who's trying to convert this this pole position into a victory on his debut in the series. He's ahead of Alexis Molina. And then look at this battle. Mawson. Oh, and Dennis Melcher very, very close in the Team Mad car. Rafael Medeiros is next, and then it's James Leggett. Conrad Venter then. Tell you what, one thing you'll notice at home, listen to how quiet these Jettas are. Barely any noise coming from these cars. And then the Kia Optima rolling its way around the circuit, very powerful front-wheel drive car. The battle between Chris Wood and Diogo Melro. Melro number 84, Chris Wood is 87. They're side by side then, out of Copse Corner. Got to tackle Maggots, the fast kink here. and then Beckett's, and through goes Diogo Melrose. So we're driving by another Club Series champion. It's a good lead for Michael Hall at the moment. The side-by-side action a little bit further down. It looks like a 24 of Sam Reed been passed by Andrew Whitehead in the 40. Reed trying to fight back on Whitehead, who's a BSRTC race winner. Summit Point in season 7, he took that one. It's his only one to date, but he has won in other series. Good battles in the Kia Optima. Let's go back to the Jetta then. Oh, Mawson and Dennis Melcher, they're still knocking spots off each other. Mawson is sideways through the corner at Club. Here comes Leggett then. James Leggett. Oh, there's a bit of contact. Oh, there's more contact. Off goes Mawson. Into the fence goes Mawson. And well, there was a bit of argy-bargy going on out there, but I'm not really sure why at this point in the race. Medeiros and Hooper very, very close together to making some contact. The Jetta seems more competitive than ever in 2017, and through goes Stephen Whiteley. That was a fantastic move. He just threaded the eye of a needle there. And he takes 26th place. He might be higher than that now, actually. The Jettas trundle across the start-finish line. If Tim Mawson's managed to recover, he has actually, so he's going to come into the pits. Just get a fast repair, so he'll be able to come out probably on the lead lap still, so not the end of the world for Mawson. He would have preferred that. Eddie King in the pits as well, so everyone watching in the Railway Inn in Doncaster is not going to be happy. Ian King in the pits as well, so boys, if you're drinking, that's a double. Robert Lundgren is at the back pretty much. I think he was involved in the carnage at the beginning as well. I think he was one of the cars who he either got rear-ended or he rear-ended someone else trying to avoid the crashing Kias. As has been the case a few times in this series. Now Ben Hackerson putting all sorts of pressure on for the lead here. Sorry, it's Ben Hackerson. Oh, it's Lewis Bibby. Beg your pardon. Bibby's got past Hackerson, and Bibby's a fast charger. Not the kind you get with a mobile phone, but he does go for it out there. Up the inside, he has a look on Hall, and Hall just takes his normal line. He's got a good exit. Yeah, Bibby will keep the pressure on here. We know that he can. I know that from experience. We've raced together in the Kia Club Series as well. Decent racing. I've had some decent racing with a lot of these drivers out here, actually. I've been racing both the BSRTC and the Kia Club Series. Know a lot of these drivers well, and there's some very, very good talent out there. Far greater talent than me. And Hall, at the moment, showing most of that talent. Stepped up a class, but of course, this isn't his first rodeo in the Kia Optima. He's very, very experienced. He's done a couple of hundred BSRTC races. He did the Champions of the Future back in the day. He's done a few other bits for CQR as Bibby just touches the back of Hall, and there's a bit of argy-bargy between Hackerson and Everett this time. So the Welshman getting in the thick of it, Alex Everett. Bibby can take tighter lines at the moment than Michael Hall. You do have to watch the tyres in the Kia Optima though still. It's been slowed down since the build change, but it has a lot of power relative to its grip level. So you have to bear that in mind when driving it. As Hall, not a great line there into Bridge, and Bibby just probing away, he's trying to find an opening. And speaking of an opening, Alex Everett nearly found one. Tried to crash through it. Not literally, of course, but very nearly did, actually. There was not a lot of space there, and look at this. I've never seen such a tightly packed bunch as this. The top 6 in the Kia Optima, absolutely nose to tail. And here comes B. Hall's going to have to think about a defensive move here. There is a bit of traffic as well in front of them, and I believe that is Robert. Is that Robert Lundgren? I think it is Robert Lundgren with the Swedish flag on the top of his car. He's got to be careful here as the cars come past. Oh, and off goes the 87, and that is Chris Wood. So he went off there. Meanwhile, back at the front of the Jetta, it's Clive Lawrence. He's under a lot of pressure from Alexis Molina. This is a great battle here. 5 seconds clear of everyone else. And James Leggett is putting pressure onto Conrad Venter then. So Venter, the South African, trying to hold on to his 4th spot. Whether he's got anything for Dennis Melcher, I'm not too sure. 10 minutes and, well, we're just coming up on the 8.5 minute mark. So we're over half distance now. It's 15 minutes. The first race, the second race is 30. Yeah, you've got to get your head down, you've got to keep going, you've got to try and stay out of trouble in this first race, I think, because don't forget the second race grid will be reversed in championship order. So whether it takes the points from the first race or whether it takes still qualifying results, don't really know. But I would imagine that the race winner here would actually be starting last for the second race. Barely hear the Jetta as it goes past the camera. It doesn't exactly scream past the camera. Ryan Walker is in a bit of a battle with Steve Hooper and Stephen Whiteley. Whiteley went the inside. He might go around the outside here at Club, and if he manages to make this one stick, that'll be a very, very good move indeed. He cuts back to the right-hand side now. But as dummies go, that wasn't the most effective one because he lost himself a lot of momentum. Means he can't really get close to Walker where it matters, which is on the run to bridge. Although he does have a little look into bridge, but you can't really when it's very nearly flat out through there. It might be flat out in this Jetta. Oh, he has a look again. And I think there might have been a tiny bit of contact in the battle in front of them, actually, between Medeiros, Leggett and Venter. May have been the tiniest bit of rubbing. Venter pushing hard to try and get this position back from James Leggett. Oh, and Medeiros having a big look into Copse. Nothing doing there. Medeiros, the Brazilian driver, his first season of the Club 73 touring cars. Now, meanwhile, for the battle for the overall lead is raging because they're side by side now, Michael Hall and Lewis Bibby. There'll be 2 or 3 laps to go here. Any move might be decisive now if Bibby can make one. Look at that sort of behind them as well. You can see in the same picture. You've got Melrose coming through on Ben Hackerson, so he's gone through on the reigning champion. No, that'll put a smile on his face. An even bigger smile if he can also get Alex Everett. He might even be able to catch the front 2 if they battle, but Hall and Bibby, as Bibby disappears for a quick second. Really sliding the car is Michael Hall now. You can see the changes in the Kia Optima. It does move around a lot more. Unless that's just the way that Hall's driving it, but it definitely looks exciting. 3 little packs here, so Hall and Bibby, and then it's the 4 behind Everett, Melrose, Hackerson and Wood, and then you've got Malcolm, Harrod and Woodhouse, if you can see those briefly. Actually, Harrod going around the outside of Malcolm. Malcolm defends the inside. Harrod is going to have a go into Vale. Is a fast corner in this historic layout, is Vale. And into Club goes The battle between these two, Malcolm and Harrod. Is anything going to give here between the Team Man car and the Automet car? Bridge corner then. Harrod round the outside of Bridge. Can he hold it on the track? He can. But can he keep the momentum through Priory? Oh, not really. And Scott Malcolm's going to clear him. Brilliant driving by Malcolm. Blots in front of Harrod. And that's that for the time being. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. And the side-by-side for the lead of the Jetta. Alexis Molina's got a fantastic run through the first sector, and he's already alongside Lawrence through Doe. And now this is going to be the same situation that we've just seen into Vale. Clive Lawrence throws the car in, but he can't stop Molina from taking the lead. Brilliant manoeuvre by Alexis Molina. Wonderful driving. Dennis Melcher is comfortable in third position. And then it's Venter, Leggett and Medeiros. Oh, wide for Venter. Very wide. A bit of the touring car line, that. It's compromised, though, through the Abbey kink. This is how it used to be in the 1980s. And Conrad probably wishes he went back in time and got a better exit. What's this behind? Good grief. 3 wide into Bridge. Between Hooper, Walker and the Kia of Jay Wright. That looked scary. Managed to all get through it. Very, very good out there. Conrad Venter defending beautifully, the man who finished third in the championship last year. Behind Dennis Melcher and behind Michael Hall. Hall's gone now, so Venter will surely see this as a good opportunity with the Cheese and Wine team, Apex Racing UK team. Up the inside goes Leggett. Oh! I think he might have done it, ladies and gentlemen. Can he clear him? There's a Kia there as well. They're trying to have a scrap, but Jay Wright is there as well. He's trying to go through. Might as well wait for the hanger straight. Fantastic driving out there from everyone. Here we go, slipstream for Leggett. Now he's going to get slipstream off the Kia. Venter's high and dry for now. He's going to be close enough for a look into Stowe. 15 minutes has elapsed. So this might be the last lap here for Michael Hall and Lewis Bibby, and they're nose to tail down the hanger straight. Unbelievable. We're getting into the real meat of the race now as the traffic is coming into play. This is what we said. We said it might come down to the last lap. Bibby and Hall, they're side by side through Stowe. Who's going to give here? Who's going to come out in front? Michael Hall still remains in the lead. And Bibby's almost pushing him through Vale. Round the right-hander at Club. Surely the white flag is out now. Through the Abbey kink. Hall versus Bibby. Hall still in front. He defends the inside of Priory. Don't forget Everett and Melrose. They're only a second or so behind. They might be able to pick up the pieces if there's a problem. Through Brooklands. Bibby's got a slight overlap, but it's on the outside. That's not what he wanted. Hall comes out of Luffield for the final time. It's going to be a race to the line. Dully, it's going to be Michael Hall. He takes the win in the first round of the season. The Club 73 Touring Car Championship. And Alexis Molina versus Clive Lawrence. It's going to go to the wire here. Lawrence has got a fantastic run. Got a great run down the hanger straight. This could be the moment. Who's going to be victorious? Lawrence round the outside. Could that be the fatal blow to the challenge of Molina? brilliant from Clive Lawrence. Alexis Molina's had a fantastic race as well. Is there anything he can do about Clive Lawrence now? Got a great slipstream, he's right behind him. He's trying to overlap him, but he's gone the long way around. What can Lawrence do? He's got the overlap, Molina. Into bridge, they're side by side. Lawrence has to go around the outside. Ryer's next, it's a left-hander. Lawrence on the inside, Molina on the outside. It's brilliant racing. It's going to come down to the wire surely here. Oh, and do they make contact? It's very close. They might have made some contact. Lawrence on the outside, Molina on the inside. Who's going to take it? Who's going to be the winner? In the Matt Cooling Cup, it's going to be Clive Lawrence, surely. And it is. My goodness me, what a race. Two battles of extraordinary proportions on the last lap. And that's what you call fantastic racing. And that is how you kick off a season, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely outstanding driving. Left, right and centre in that race. And the winners, Michael Hall and Clive Lawrence. But do not take anything away from the two men who finished in second place in their respective classes, Lewis Bibby and Alexis Molina. That was brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. You'll not see as good racing as that for pretty much anywhere else here. Ben Hackerson, a clean race. I'll be pleased with that. And you know, I think that's one of the things, if you can get the clean races, you do get a few extra points, so I'm sure it will be very, very useful for the championship. Wow, let's take you through the finishing order then here for round one of Season 2, 2017. Michael Hall winning the race in the Super Pro category and the Kia Optima by just 1.5 tenths from Lewis Bibby. Alex Everett in third and just holding off the challenge of Diogo Melro. Those two swap positions couple of times really. Ben Hackerson in fifth, sixth was Chris Wood, seventh Scott Malcolm, eighth Mark Woodhouse, Pete Harrod in ninth, and Andrew Whitehead in 10th, Dale Green 11th, 12th was Jason Rowe ahead of Neil Rocks, and then it was Stuart Atkinson, Chris Sherburn, and in 16th place was Jay Wright, who managed to he actually got positions there, didn't he, off the Kias at the end. That was what that was for. A few extra points for Jay Wright up to 16th. Clive Lawrence taking the victory, and a fantastic win for him in the Mike Cooling Cup, ahead of Alexis Molina by 1/10 of a second again. Dennis Melcher in third, James Leggett in fourth, fifth Rafael Medeiros. Conrad Venter in sixth, ahead of John Roberts' Kia. So Roberts was one of the ones who had the problem at the start. It was him and Jay Wright. Ahead of Ryan Walker, then it's Steve Hooper in 25th, Stephen Whiteley in 26th, 27th was Dan Gunfield. Then Sean Gardner and Adam Hedgecock were the ones who finished on the lead lap. Cars one lap down or more start with Chris White in 30th. Then it was Dave Crozier in 31st. Dylan Ditchburn in 32nd. 33rd, Tim Mawson after contact with Leggett and contact with the wall. 34th, Ian Robson. 35th, Robert Lundgren, also with problems at the start. 36th was Clinton Bell, who started at the back, and something must have gone wrong for him because he still finished one lap down. A.D. King and Ian King 2 laps down, and Sam Reed 3 laps down in 39th. Okay, we've still got one more race to go tonight, and it's the 30-minute feature race. So don't go anywhere, because that will begin. As soon as the guys can get set up with the new session. Grid will be reversed in. It will be reversed either in normally championship order. I don't know whether it will go off the first race results or whether it will go on qualifying results. I actually don't know, but we will find out when we come back here on Apex Racing TV. So thanks everyone for watching this first race of the evening. There's still one more to go. Join us back for that in just a few minutes' time.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com. Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com. Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
For the third time today, Apex Racing TV returns to the Silverstone circuit in Northamptonshire. And it's this time the Club 73 Championship, presented by World League Sim Racing. Andrew Woodhouse alongside James Nash for this one. And, well, race 1 was absolutely brilliant. It's one of the best we've seen. Two very, very close finishes. Absolutely ridiculous. Brilliant driving all round. And yeah, if there's more of the same, I will be a very, very happy man. Let's have a look at the conditions then out there. 23 degrees air temperature, 55% humidity, and a slight wind, 3 kilometers an hour. So it's nice neutral conditions out there, really, for the drivers. And I know what they'll be liking, I reckon, out there. Clear weather as well. The track temperature is 35 degrees. It's very hot. However, we didn't see that tyre wear was a major issue in race 1, so see what we have in race 2. It will be a factor, surely. 30-minute race. Fuel and tyres have to be taken, remember, in this race. A mandatory pit stop is in effect. Okay, let's have a quick look then at... just remind everybody what happened in race 1. It was Michael Hall that took victory in the... Super Pro class, and then it was Clive Lawrence in the Mike Cooling Cup. So fantastic stuff from both those gentlemen, and they'll be hoping to recover that. It was in the order of the first race results, so Clinton Bell will be starting on pole, with John Roberts in second, Jay Wright in third, Chris Sherburn in fourth, and Stuart Atkinson in fifth. And then in the Mike Cooling Cup, you've got the King brothers on the front row, Ian and Adi. So boys in Doncaster will be watching that one very, very closely. Robert Lundgren in third, Ian Robson fourth, and Tim Mawson might well be the favourite for this race, as he was nudged off the track and into the wall in race 1. Yeah, then we're just a few seconds away from the start of race 2 of the Club 73 Touring Car Championship, presented by World League Sim Racing. Here we go then. Gear Optimus and VW Jetters going to battle for half an hour. Now! What a good start that was by John Roberts. He takes the lead already, away from Clinton Bell, who's had a shocker. Into second place, it looks like it's Jay Wright. So the two drivers who crashed into each other on the first lap of race 1 are the ones who have got through first and second, would you believe it, in race 2. The Jetters looking good. Lundgren has the lead now. Robert Lundgren ahead of Adi King, and then it's Ian King, and off. There's a car off. It's Robson. Ian Robson started in 4th position, and now, ladies and gentlemen, he's last after a trip through the grass. That's the big disadvantage of getting your line wrong. Somebody's got it very right off the start. It's John Roberts, King of the Ring champion. He currently is ahead of Jay Wright. So Jay Wright with a very, very good start as well. He started third. Chris Sherburn's in third position, sorry. And then it's Clinton Bell, so started on pole. He's down to 4th. That's a poor start. But he's got plenty of time to make it up. He's got half an hour out there to make it through. And Stuart Atkinson having a look down the inside, and he might make this work here into Priory. Atkinson in the boosted motorsports car. Up the inside for Atkinson, a BSR-TC regular, of course. Outside line again for him, but Clinton Bell fighting back on the inside, so good driving by Clinton. Seen it many times before. Clinton Bell is a tough driver to beat. And here comes Atkinson. He's going to try and do just that. Into Copse Corner they go. And that's the 42 car of Neil Rocks as well, just blinked. And Rocks started in 6th position. So he's got a very good chance of some good points here as well. Just behind him, though, he's been pestered, harassed and harried by Jason Rowe. Number 007. On the last car that we saw with the 007 livery on it, did win a race earlier on this week, so we'll see if that can happen again. And as predicted by myself, with absolutely no arrogance whatsoever, Tim Mawson has taken the lead. So we noted that he's a fast driver at the front of this field, and he's already taken the lead from Robert Lundgren. In third, it's Sean Gardner, then it's Chris White, then it's James Leggett, then Stephen Whiteley, then Steve Hooper, then it's Ian King. So Ian King, where's AD King gone? He's there, but he's had a real struggle in the first few laps, losing positions hand over fist, so I don't really know what's happened to him. And just behind the leaders then, you've got this battle between Gardner, Leggett, White and Whiteley. So in this race we've got Whiteley, Whitehead and White. And there's off goes Chris Sherburn. What's happened to the number 135 car? Have a look at the man who was in third. Incident at Vale. Oh, he's already had an incident. And it's Jason Rowe. I've just missed a pile-up, haven't I? I have. Let's have a quick look back at this then, if we can. The Sherburn goes into slow, hits John Roberts up the rear. He spins, loses it, smashes into Jason Rowe. Takes 2 or 3 cars with. Oh, there's a car in the air. Who on earth is that? I'll tell you when he comes down. It's Chris Wood, not the Leeds United striker. Yeah, that's a big one. That's the Guinness World Record for the highest high jump car, no doubt. And that was the messy incident. While we were admiring the work of the jetters, it was a more abstract work of art for the Kia Optimus, to be honest. So let's reset then the gear. Let's exactly see what's going to happen here. In fact, I'll do that at the end of the lap. But I'll give you a score at the end of the lap because that's all I can get, I'm afraid, at the minute. Good battle here between 42 Neil Rocks, 21 Pete Harrod and 313 Lewis Bibby. Oh, they're punting each other through bridge as there's 2 slower cars in front. Clinton Bell got held up, I think, and here comes Stuart Atkinson. He's up the inside. These two resume the battle. Oh, contact between Bell and Atkinson, and now they're 3 wide into Luffield. Bell takes a very, very wide line to try and push out Neil Rocks from contention. Now they're 3 wide between 3 different drivers, Bibby and Rocks and Harrod, and Rocks slots in behind the 2. So there's 2 packs of 2. Rocks is going to try and make it a 3 wide situation. Rocks is on the grass, particularly where you want to be, especially through on the exit of Woodcote. More contact between Atkinson and Lewis Bibby. God, it's very close out there. Chris Sherburn's made a pit stop. I'll get him to the end of the race, actually, so might be able to make some hay. Not literal hay, though. He's gone over the grass. He's been making some actual hay in a minute, I think, as Stuart Atkinson then is Chris Wood's also been in the pits as well, as has John Roberts, but John Roberts is still staying in second place, so it's Jay Wright leading, John Roberts second. He's about 1.2 seconds behind. Then it's actually Stuart Atkinson in third, and he's under pressure from Clinton Bell, as we've seen. Then behind them it's Pete Harrod, then Lewis Bibby, and then it's this big gaggle. Neil Rocks, Ben Hackerson, the reigning champion, in there, Dale Green, Alex Everett and Diogo Melro. And then the 2 cars just off that battle is last season's pro champion Mark Woodhouse and Andrew Whitehead, Boosted Motorsport. And the Jetters are nearly 3 wide down the straight as well, involving Robert Lundgren. Just ahead of Stephen Whiteley and Sean Gardner. So this is a good battle. Very wide for John Gardner there. So that was Stephen Whiteley in the 8 car. Whiteley disappears. Back now. And then you've got Gardner then runs a little bit wide himself. Lundgren trying to make his escape at least. Tim Mawson having a very good race so far. He's 4 seconds for this. Well, James Leggett anyway. Excuse me, then it's Lundgren, Gardner, Whiteley. Melcher getting in. Melcher, where did he come from? He's through. Managed to overtake Whiteley. Oh, and coming steaming in is Hooper. Steve Hooper. Oh, unlucky. Wide goes Whiteley again. And there's a Kia Optima behind. That's Scott Malcolm, so he must have been involved in some nonsense earlier on. May have been involved in the pile-up on the first few laps. But can the Scotsman negotiate this lot? This is actually position for Scott Malcolm. Not valuable points. Ooh, Lundgren and... Lundgren, and off goes, didn't it? Well, he's lost a position to Melcher. Melcher making his way through this group extremely well. We're going to have a battle for the lead any second now as well in the Kia. There's all sorts going on behind them, but it's Jay Wright, John Roberts, and it's just Jay Wright and John Roberts actually, isn't it? Because that's Chris Wood who's lapped. But Lewis Bibby, Pete Harrod, Clinton Bell, that's just behind. Very close there. And then you've got Neil Rocks, Alex Everett. So Alex Everett side by side with Hackerson. And then here comes Melrose on the inside. 3 wide into Brooklands. My God, how are they not crashing? Absolutely no idea. I thought there's a crash behind. Someone else is crashing. And that is a Team Mad car. And that's Dave Crozier. Like Dave Crozier was punted off. Back to the battle. I do apologise to James Nash, who's cameras in the Club 73 tonight, because there's battles absolutely everywhere. Go Melrose and Alex Everett side by side for 8th and 9th in the middle of Copse Corner. Not necessarily the place you want to be side by side, but it doesn't seem to bother these two. And 10 minutes here in this race, 1/3 distance, or 1/3 time. I'm going to be correct on that, I suppose. And they're coming up on Neil Rocks, so Neil Rocks getting held up a little bit, and here comes the 84 of Melrose. Alex Everett looking for a way through as well. At this action, you do not know where to look in the Club 73. This is what makes this one of the most exciting series in sim racing today. Oh, a bit of contact there between the two of them, and he actually hit into Melrose, so Melrose got forced a bit wide. Here comes Neil Rocks. Oh, that was very close. Almost clipped the back of Alex Everett's car through Vale. Fantastic driving, really, by Neil Rocks to avoid the collision there. So Everett, Rocks, Melrose. Goodness me. Jay Wright's dropped down the order as well. So has he been in the... Is he coming to the pits? I think he's pitted, actually, Jay Wright. So that's an early stop for him. Good idea. Up the inside for Melrose. Here he goes. And that's a lot of space given by Neil Rocks. Melrose goes through. So Rocks left the door open. Some of these drivers would be wise to get into the pits. And Alex Everett does just that. Just to get yourself out of this traffic. I mean, you might end up in some other traffic, but... probably won't have to battle for position too much. Let me just have a quick look and see exactly where we are. Well, it's now John Roberts that has the lead. He's been pursued by Lewis Bibby. Contact that Roberts had has not really affected him too much, and he'll be very, very pleased with that, the King of the Ring. A great victory at the Nordschleife a few weeks ago. Pete Harrod's there as well. He's in 3rd position. Former 2-time Club Series champion is really on the tail of Lewis Bibby. He's not letting him get away. Pete Harrod, who also races in the BSRTC. trying his best to Valen Club. What's all that behind? Lapping going on, I think. Yep. Wow. What a race this has been so far. Oh, and here we go. There's a... That's... Oh, Chris Wood on the grass. Already been sent into orbit. Oh, off he goes. He went off so far he was on the national circuit. I think he might have damage. I wonder if he's broken the suspension on that Kia Optima, or maybe he's just getting out of the way of the... he's just getting out of the way, actually, there. That's good driving by Chris Wood. Sportsmanship. Now it's Bibby versus Harrod versus Atkinson. Clinton Bell's in the pits as well. That's from P5. So Bell. See where he comes out. The guys who made their stops: Jay Wright in 12th, Ben Hackerson in 13th, and Scott Malcolm in 14th. I believe all three have been into the pits. They can get to the end, but bear in mind their tyres aren't going to be in great shape. These guys are going to have a few laps less on their rubber. Can Clinton Bell emerge before Jay Wright? I don't think he's going to. No, he's not. Still getting one of the sides on. Now he's away, but that's quite behind Alex Everett, and that's behind Scott Malcolm as well. Surely. Oh no, maybe he's going to get ahead of Malcolm. It's going to be close. Not that close though, so okay. Oh, Dale Green. Dale Green's off. Going to see where Green was in relation to everyone else, and going off was where he was. Jason Rose quite a long way behind as well after that incident that he had earlier on. Again, not his fault. John Roberts leading. There is a fast repair in this series as well, so Roberts should get that front damage repaired in this pit stop, and it's going to be soon, surely, because they want to split this race in half. You want to get the benefit of the new tyres soon, and in comes Lewis Bibby. Now he's going to try and take advantage of just that. He's going to try and undercut John Roberts. Can get an undercut in the Kia Optima, but fuel is needed. So I think you still get the benefit of an undercut, but it might not be as great, obviously, as it would have been with a slightly lighter car. So that's an obvious statement 101. But as there's lots of cars in the pits now. So Whitehead is in, Woodhouse is in, Neil Rocks is in, and Stuart Atkinson. So we'll see who gets out first. The pit lane. Battle on pit road. And, well, Bibby does get out just ahead of Harrod. That is super close. Almost making contact in the pit lane. They're that close. Then it's Atkinson. Where do these two come out? Where do Bibby and Harrod emerge? Right with Alex Everett. And look at that. Is that allowed? I'm not sure. I think it probably is. Harrod taking the other pit lane. Exit ramp, sorry. But I believe it's Jay Wright that's still in the lead here. I'll let you know that in a minute or two once it's all shaken out. Mark Woodhouse nearly got ahead of Neil Rocks. That was very close on the pit lane. Tim Mawson is in then, leader in the Mike Cooling Cup. See what the cheese and wine man can do here. See what the Jetta's like on pit road. I've not really know exactly how long it's going to cost them. Robert Lundgren is in as well. Mawson emerges. Now, who's the main competition for him? Well, it's going to be his teammates, really, wasn't it? Conrad Venter and Clive Lawrence, but Mawson well ahead of them. Is he ahead of the rest of the Jetters, though? He is. He's ahead of Alexis Molina, so that's comfortably by a few seconds. Good work by Tim Mawson. There's still a few drivers who haven't pitted yet. James Leggett, Dennis Melcher. So I think Leggett's in the lead at the minute. Now, John Roberts in the pits in the Kia, and Diogo Melro. And Jay Wright still is in the lead, so he goes through. So it's worked out really well for Jay Wright, getting that undercut. Nice early stop for tyres and for fuel. Do they have enough fuel in the cars as well? That's another conundrum that you need to get answered here. Many times already in 2017 that fuel's been at a premium for certain drivers. They've struggled with the calculations. Slightly hotter conditions though, so you wouldn't think they'll be using quite as much as we saw maybe in the V8 Supercar Championship the other night, where a couple of guys ran out of fuel because it was so cool out there. They just didn't put enough in. Fuel economy was a bit higher than they thought. Nothing economy about this run from Wright and Ben Hackerson. Hackerson ahead of his teammate Bibby. Oh, is Hackerson going to have a go here? Well, Jay Wright defended the line well against the reigning champion. Surprised he's not actually, nobody's spotting the number 1 on the car. This one. 11 for Hackerson. Jay Wright then needs to focus on his entries and his exits. Needs to hit his marks, just needs to be nice and smooth. Not do anything silly, as Pete Harrod's on the grass there. Oh, there's more cars on the grass a bit further back. Oh, here we go, Atkinson. Oh, Atkinson, Bell and Melro. That's for 7th position. 7th, 8th and 9th. 84 of Melro, 73 Vincent Bell and 77 Stuart Atkinson. Doing nearly side by side. Great action there. Oh, now what's this? That is Ben Hackerson. Yeah, that's the Hackerson battle. Hackerson's actually gone into the lead then over Jay Wright. Look away for 1 minute. Once again, it's typical. The lead has changed hands. Ben Hackerson into the lead then. Lewis Bibby. It's essential for Bibby's race that he needs to get through here and now on Jay Wright, because otherwise Hackerson's going to escape. And even though they're teammates, he doesn't really want that in the early part of the season. He wants to maintain that good advantage that he got from the first race. Was finishing in 2nd position. We've lost Michael Hall as well. Well, he's still going, actually. We haven't lost him completely, but a lap down, and he's actually in last place. Okay, we do apologise for the technical issues that we've got going here. I've been told we've got no pictures. Well, I do my best job as a radio commentator for the rest of the race, and we'll see what happens. See if we can hopefully we can get that back up and running for you. So, just reset then. Ben Hackerson leads by 0.2 of a second over Lewis Bibby. Then it's Pete Harrod in 3rd. And that's in the Kia. And then you've got Dennis Melcher leading after the round of pit stops in the VW Jetta. Pardon. I don't know if he's pitted yet, actually, Melcher. Like he's too far in front. I don't think he has pitted yet. No, he hasn't. Pretty sure of that. So we'll see that very, very shortly. Okay. Side by side for the lead then in the Kia Optima. Ben Hackison, they're going through Stowe Corner now. Side by side into Vale. Hackison on the right, Bibby on the left, and Lewis Bibby has managed to take the lead here. Pete Harrod is very, very close. There's 4 cars in front of them. In terms of traffic, there's 2 of the cheese and wine cars, Clive Lawrence and Conrad Venter in the black and yellow livery. Oh, there's 5 cars going through bridge together. And Lewis Bibby somehow, I don't know how, manages to just get it right. Hackison is boxed in behind some traffic, a Kia and a Jetta. Chris Sherburn, who came to grief earlier on. Alexis Molina is also in that group as well, in the Jettas. Have a quick look then. Lewis Bibby gained a second there. He's got a good advantage now ahead of Hackison. Then it's Harrod. Dennis Melchert's coming out of the pits as well, and he's got an interest obviously in this battle, which is the one for second place in the Jetta. James Leggett currently holds it, and then there's a couple of seconds to Dennis Melchert. So Melchert is Melchert's currently 3rd position then. Let me know in the chat if you can still hear me. Sure we can. Carry on anyway. Are we back? I think we're back here. Okay. Here we go. Right, we're back. Excellent. Sorry about that. I'm on a bit of a delay, so apologies for that. Right, okay. 26 minutes gone in the Club 73 Touring Car Championship in association with World League Sim Racing, the Silverstone circuit in the United Kingdom. Andrew Woodhouse and James Nash here for Apex Racing TV. Good battle going on. Second place, the Kia Optima. Harrod is trying to wrestle second place away from Ben Hackison. The Club Series champion, Pete Harrod, 2 times against the reigning champion of this series, Ben Hackison. Harrod trying around the outside of Maggots and Beckett. This is fantastic. They're so close together. Brilliant racing. These 2 raced together countless times. It's going to be Harrod. Going to get a great run down the Hanger Straight. Sherburn's got 10 minutes of repairs. He's out. The note from the pits there. This is allowing Lewis Bibby to escape, but here comes Pete Harrod again. Does he have any chance of a move through Vale? Not really. What he can do though is he can set Hackison up through Club. Oh, and on the inside goes Harrod. It's nice. Good traction. Side by side with Hackison now. Can he carry the speed around the outside? He can. Pete Harrod goes through. Back into second place. And that's brilliant. What's also brilliant is this battle that we'll be getting very, very shortly in the Jetta for second place. We've got James Leggett and Dennis Melchert. They're only about 1 second apart, with Kias in and about as well. A few minutes to go here. Silverstone. Race 1 was one of the best we've ever seen in this series. Maybe full stop in Apex Racing TV. Race 2's been great entertainment as well, great value. And now the Kia just clears this battle, and Dennis Melchert can get onto the back of James Leggett. James Leggett delivered a podium finish here. He's a postman after all. Oh, he's going off. That allows Dennis Melcher to get very, very close indeed through the S's here at Maggots and Beckett's. Now, Melcher gets close through Chapel. He does get a good run through Chapel, but has he got the slipstream? Can he close in enough on the Subaru for you Kunstvoller car? The answer is no, so under braking has to slot in behind does Dennis. Good, it's been a very good drive by James Leggett here. That's his 34th on the grid, he's up to 18th. Very, very good. Alexis Molina's only a few seconds behind him. Then you've got Conrad Venter. And then you've got Clive Lawrence. Venter and Lawrence for cheese and wine. Very, very close to Alexis Molina. And then a few seconds back to Hooper and then Gardner. So quite close there, but very, very close in the Kia Optima. Lewis Bibby's leading. He's about a 3-second lead. We've only got a couple of laps to go. We might only get one. He slides the car into Cops Corner. Then you've got Pete Harrod, Atkinson in third, John Roberts fourth, and Diogo Melro fifth. It's been a really, really good tussle between these guys. We started at various ends of the reverse grid. John Roberts started second, but he is a former BSRTC AM champion, so we know he's got the pace, we know he's got the racecraft. Often with Roberts, he struggles with qualifying more than anything else, but there's no such problem here, obviously, as he was reversed into the front row after a bad first race. So, but in the races, he's very, very good indeed. Pete Harrod's also very, very good indeed, and he leads this train ahead of number 11, Ben Hackerson. Lurking is Diogo Melro as well for Team Mad. Bit of traffic. Oh, sideways, Harrod. Get that for some fine style while lapping the traffic. Melro now trying to overlap John Roberts, and Alex Everett's lurking in the background. Roberts defending fresh air slightly, I think, into the kink. Stopped his momentum a little bit. On the outside looks Melro. Portuguese driver smells blood, he's going to try it. Does he become the Portuguese man of war? Here he does, and he declares war on John Roberts. Well, 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 there we no peace treaty there. And Everett now, Wales getting involved. Oh, through Luffield, they're still bashing panels. This is fantastic stuff. Like, and through comes Lewis B, and he wins. He wins at Silverstone. Fantastic stuff. Harrod then in second, Haxton third, Melro getting fourth ahead of Everett, and Roberts unlucky on the final lap. Jay Wright, Clinton Bell and Stuart Atkinson come across. But round the final corner, and this is a man who's done many BSRTC races in the past. He's done all sorts of different series. But I don't think I've called one of these, because it's a win for Tim Mawson. And it's a win for Cheese and Wine. There'll be cheese and wine all round tonight. Takes the victory. Fantastic for him. James Leggett pipped by Dennis Melcher on the final lap, and Alexis Molina just holds off the other cheese and wine entries, Clive Lawrence and Conrad Venter. Steve Hooper comes across next. And are they still racing out there? Yes, they are. Ryan Walker and Dan Gunfield still going for it. Fantastic stuff right on the complex on the final lap. Clins and then Luffield. Ryan Walker taking the long way around. He finds it out. Here we go. Finds it out of Luffield. See whether he's going to get it. It's going to be extremely close. Walker's got the momentum. He's got to run out of distance, I think. Gunfield. just about gets that one. Absolutely fantastic. Brilliant driving, absolutely brilliant. Dave Crozier is coming through. It's not been a great meeting for him. He's a quick driver, Dave Crozier, but it's not been his night. Started 24th, and it's going to be 33rd in the end for him. AD King is going to come across. P34, maybe not what he wanted from a good starting position. And Ian King likewise. Northman on the front row couldn't capitalise on that, but relatively new drivers still to the series, so to iRacing in general, I believe. So still plenty of room for improvement there, and they are improving week in, week out. Right then. Okay. The final results here from round 2 of the season 2 of the Club 73 Touring Car Championship, presented by World League Sim Racing. Lewis Bibby takes the win by 2.7 seconds over Ben Hackerson, with Diogo Melro over Pete Harrod with Ben Hackerson in 3rd, Diogo Melro in 4th, Alex Everett in 5th, John Roberts in 6th, 7th is Jay Wright, 8th Clinton Bell, and then 9th for Stuart Atkinson. 10th was Neil Rocks. And then Scott Malcolm, who recovered well. He did an early pit stop and had a pretty good battle. It looks like Andrew Whitehead in 11th and 12th. 13th was Mark Woodhouse. And then Dale Green, 14th. 15th, Jason Rowe. And 16th, Chris Wood. In the Mike Cooling Cup then, Tim Mawson takes his first win of the season. Of course, it's his first win of the season. This is on the second race. Dennis Melchett in 2nd, with James Leggett in 3rd. Alexis Molina in 4th, and then it's Clive Lawrence in 5th, and 6th is Conrad Venter. 7th was Steve Hooper, and it was Sean Gardiner behind him in 8th. That's 24th overall. 9th was Stephen Whiteley, in 10th there was Rafael Medeiros in 26th overall. Adam Hedgecock was in 27th, then 28th was Robert Lundgren, 29th for Ian Robson, who did all right actually, considering he went off at the very, very beginning of the race. Chris White was in 30th, Gunfield 31st, 32nd Ryan Walker. That was inches away from stopping around that. Dave Crozier 33rd, 34th AD King, 35th was Ian King, and rounding out the finishers, he did finish the race 2 laps down, was Michael Hall. So 0 to 0 for him, first to last, fortunately for Hall. And then Chris Sherburn was the only retirement. That was in P37, 5 laps down. Now, I want to see... I'm going to see if I can go and get... Just bear with me for... Have a quick look. Tim Mawson's not on TeamSpeak. Oh, that's unfortunate. I was going to see if I could get him. I will get... Andrew Whitehead in, because he won the league admin, so we'll try and get him. Now, joined in the commentary box by Andrew Whitehead. Are you there, mate?
I am. Good evening.
Hello, how are you doing?
We're back.
Yes. And I tell you what, that was brilliant. And 2 fantastic races. One of the organisers of the league, you must be absolutely over the moon with how this racing's been going.
Oh, thrilled to bits. I wish I could drive a bit quicker, but no, everything's marvellous. Such close racing. It's incredible.
The driving wasn't that bad. You just had a bit of it looked like you had a bit of bad luck with the traffic and various other bits.
Yeah, there was a one of the Brit modeler guys, I can't remember who it was now, quite early in the race, had a bit of a spin in front of me, and it sort of blocked things up a little bit, lost a few places there, but other than that, I mean, very few incidents. Looked like the racing was so close. I mean, from what I could see where I was, the relatives weren't really changing at all. So, fantastic stuff. Yeah,
it was very, very good in both classes. It was first race especially, two classes resolved by 1/10 of a second, and that's really what you want in any series. So this season, is there anything major that's different from your point of view this season, or is there anything that we need to know really in terms of what's coming up?
Well, it's a bit longer for a start. We're doing the 4 weeks longer this season, so added a little bit to it. We did poke around a little bit with the Pro and Super Pro. So basically, the guys who finished top 2 in the Pro last season went up to Super Pro. Actually, I think it was top 3.
So there was Woodhouse and he's not rung a bell who the others were. I've forgotten.
Scott Malcolm, Jason Rowe.
Yes.
So they got promoted for doing so well in Pro, and then the poor little slow pokes like me got demoted to Pro. So, but it works in the Premier League. It works with football. I think it's going to work here. So we keep drivers of similar ability around each other. Yeah, great stuff.
I think it's good as well that the non-rookie drivers can sort of good for absolute beginners as well to come in, because obviously I'm guessing you've still got a few spaces left.
Yes, yeah, we've got room for people. What we do say, in order to get things organised and sorted, we look for entries to be confirmed by 8 o'clock on the Thursday before a race. It's unfortunate because we try and get everything prepared in advance, and on the day of the race we often get 3 people. Is the room? Can I join? And we just have to say no because we just can't. It's so much work to run something like this anyway. We can do without the extra, so we sort of stay a little bit tight on that. But yes, we've got room. Got room if people are interested in joining. Long enough season.
Yeah, I mean, would you just give people an idea of how they can get involved if they are watching this, if they are either a beginner or they're an experienced sim racer?
Yeah, if they look out for us, World League Sim Racing on Facebook, you can pick up all of the information from there. You need to join our league in iRacing, but all the instructions on how to do that are in the Facebook pages. So, yeah, start with Facebook, and somebody will hold your hand through the process. Make it as easy as we can for you.
All right, awesome stuff, mate. And yeah, thanks for bringing us another great season, and I'm sure we will speak to you next week.
Thank you. Looking forward to watching it back. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Andrew Whitehead there is always willing to talk to us, always a good sport. So thank you to him for that, and I'm sure he'll enjoy watching that one back as well. Now, next man we're going to speak to is the man who's making his debut tonight, and that is Mr. Ryan Walker. Hello.
Good evening, guys.
How are we doing?
After race 1 and race 2, sweating like crazy, but overall that was I enjoyed this evening, and the racing was good in both races, and I'm looking forward to next week.
Now let's talk about race 2, especially about the finish. I mean, so close with Dan Gunfield. It could not have been any closer, and just pipped at the line.
Yeah, that was basically after my incident on lap 1 with I can't remember who it was on lap 1. I just pitted. Then after my pit stop, I thought I'm just going into angry driving mode and just basically going balls to the wall. If I'm allowed to say it in the broadcast, I apologise if not.
That's okay.
But yeah,
I'm sure we've said worse at some point. So yeah.
But yeah, I just basically decided to play it crazy and try and pick up any positions that I could and just salvage something. And
so what exactly happened then? Where was the incident? I'm just having a quick look at it back.
I believe it was I can't remember what corner it was. Was it? I think it's Stowe. I think it is.
Let's have a look. Oh, there was Oh man, yeah. That was really unlucky. I don't even know how that even happened. So I don't know if James can get that lap 1, but essentially what there is there's 2 cars on the right of you. You had a run on both of those, but there's a car on the grass that's actually going faster than all the cars on the track. And he comes across onto the circuit, but also one of the cars on the outside turns across. So at one bit you were 5 wide nearly there. So I'm not surprised that
really?
something. I'm not. Yeah. I'm not surprised that something happened because you were actually for about 1/10 of a second you were 5 wide. So it was just bad luck. But I mean, and you were the only one it seemed that was actually pointing the car in a straight line. So I don't know. Weird one. When you see that back, you'll be quite confused as to how that even happened. But yeah.
Yeah, but I was shocked at the time, but overall I've enjoyed the racing this evening, and had a good battle in both races, and had a good battle with Steve Hooper in race one. And as you mentioned, I just missed out on finishing in P15, I believe, on the last lap in race two, and was just pipped at the line by Dan. But yeah, as I say, enjoyed this evening, and looking forward to round two next week.
And of course, a victory for Tim Mawson. You must be really pleased with that.
Yeah, it's good to see some of the other guys in Team Cheese and Wine doing well, and also good to see Tim getting a win tonight. I believe he won race two.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
and he's a fast driver, and he doesn't give himself enough credit. So hopefully this will help him out a bit.
Yeah, he's a bloody quick driver, Tim is, and also good to see Clive, my other teammate in Team Cheese and Wine, getting a win in race two in the Jetta class, and yeah, overall it's been a good night for the team.
Fantastic. All right, Ryan. Thank you very much for joining us, mate, and for the first time, and hopefully we'll catch you again next week.
Thanks, guys. Good work on the broadcast.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Ryan Walker there, and I think we just got time for one more interview. I think that's going to be our reigning champion, Ben Hackerson. So, Ben, can you hear me, mate?
Yes, I can.
So the title defense has started, and it started pretty decently for you, really, hasn't it? Two top six finishes, and fairly good start.
Yeah, so race one, I was just aiming to get a 0x and finish somewhere in the top 5. I wasn't really bothered where, because if the lower you finished, it's only 1 point, and the higher you start on the grid, which obviously lets you get to the front quicker and miles ahead of the guys behind, which gives you more points. So that was the plan, and then the plan was just to get a 0x second race and pit early, get out of everyone's way, and see where I end up. Unfortunately, I got a 1x during a crash at some point, but the pit strategy would have worked on the old tyres, but the new tyres just go off so quickly. It's about 6 tenths in the first 2 laps, and then it drops to about 2 tenths a lap. They go off.
So it doesn't go off majorly then after the first couple of laps, but it just sort of stays at a certain point.
Yeah, and you have to remember that the new tyres are now 2 seconds slower than what they were before, so it's now oversteering a lot more than it was. And then you add on tyre wear. It's very, very hard to battle, in my opinion. I don't know if you could tell from out there. So after
I think it looked all right. I mean, it might be making people, though, race a little bit cleaner, because I know we've seen... I was talking in the broadcast last night, the V8 supercars that we did, saying that car's so difficult to drive. That's probably why we don't see that many accidents in that series, because when people are battling, they're too busy trying to control the car to actually worrying about hitting each other and things. They make enough room, it seems. So maybe it's a good thing for the Kia Optima that it is a little bit harder to drive.
Yeah, I think long term I'd agree with you with that. It's just right now people haven't got into that mindset of this car's quite hard to get right in the braking zone, whereas before it was quite easy to brake in. So if you
now it's a mess. It's obviously, well, not a mess, but it's you're just going to have to get out of habits, aren't you? And that's the thing.
Exactly.
Is what.
And then I did it, I think, twice today, where I just went for an inside move, just missed the apex completely, and slid wide into the guy behind. So while I was trying to overtake. So
I know that's what the guy said actually about in the BSR TC the other night, was that drivers who are new to the car picked it up very, very quickly because they didn't have any bad habits to sort of unlearn.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point, but at the same time, a lot of what you've learnt from before still applies, so not getting on the power too early. So I think it's fairly even out. Like, I'm not sure experience is the worst thing in the world, because especially in BSR, being able to pick your way through a reverse grid is a very good thing to know. But at the same time, it's quite hard to just get on the pace straight away now.
Yeah, and I think, but again, I think it's something that this is a slightly longer season, and obviously you're doing the Pro Series as well, so it's going to you're going to be afforded a lot of opportunities and a lot of different situations, and I think that can only be good for you and good for the series as well. Really.
Yeah, I hope so. The only thing is now it takes a lot more to practice these cars, and the gap between the quick guys and the slow guys increases. So in the Pro Series,
maybe that's a bit of a good thing though in some cases. So who knows?
in some cases, yeah.
So, mate, thank you very much for joining us once again. Always a pleasure to have you on the broadcast, and yeah, we'll see you at the next one. Good luck for the rest of the season.
All right, thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. Ben Ackerson there, and reigning champion, and a very honest assessment of his first round defending the title. So that is pretty much all we've got time for tonight from Apex Racing TV. Thank you for joining us all day. If you've seen any of our coverage tonight, we really appreciate your support. And don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe, obviously, to our YouTube channel if you enjoyed what you saw here. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week for more from the Club 73 Touring Car Championship. On Monday we have the Porsche Cup. We also have the Ricmatech Sports Car Series in the early hours of the Tuesday morning, and then we've got BSR Formula Renault on the Tuesday night, and the BSR TC returns on Thursday. Right, thank you very much, everybody, and it's a very good evening to you all.